Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford. BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty and Robert Parris, Peter Brown with the weather, Jolie Atwood with community calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Police Department is asking for the public's help in identifying a set of suspects in a theft case. According to the police information site maskmostwanted.com, on February 23, the two females suspects pictured above, along with a male suspect not shown, stole credit cards at Panera Bread and used them to purchase $2,000 worth of gift cards at CVS. Both businesses are located in the Crossroads Plaza at 34 Cambridge Street. The first suspect, wearing the Boston Red Sox hat, is described as a female with medium build, dark complexion, and of unknown height. The second suspect, wearing sunglasses and a green sweater, is also described as a female with medium build, dark complexion, and of unknown height. A third suspect is listed but not pictured. That person is described as a male, medium build, dark complexion, and again of an unknown height and build. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call the Burlington Police Department at 781-272-1212. The officer working the case is Matthew Trahan. Burlington Police Department K-9 Havoc was honored at a recent Board of Selectmen meeting for his distinguished 10-year career on the force. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford was there and has this report.
There was a very special guest at the Burlington Board of Selectmen meeting this week. Burlington Police Department's K-9 Havoc was honored for his retirement after 10 years on the force. He was presented with treats and a whole raw chicken by Board Chair Joe Morandi and given a round of applause by those in attendance in gratitude for his long career protecting the community and helping with operations in surrounding towns. Those who worked with Havoc or knew of his work said he was a true professional.
He's been nothing short of a phenomenal partner. Everything I could have asked for in a dog, in a K-9, he's been.
He is a great K-9, and Joe Papsadero, the handler, they truly work as a team, and they get called out. It's a 24/7 job, and it is so nice to have a K-9 like Havoc within the confines of Burlington should something happen.
Well, it's great to see Havoc here. He's been a wonderful asset to the town, along with Joe. Joe's a really good officer. I said earlier tonight, Joe has a Class A personality, so the dog does also. Naturally, I have a soft spot to dogs to begin with, but when they're trained that well, it's just incredible to watch.
Training for K-9 starts with a 14-week course of long days and potentially an additional 6 to 10 weeks of specialty training. But that is just the beginning. K-9s and their handlers train constantly, either at special events or just when they can find the time during a quiet moment in a shift.
Constantly ongoing. We have formal in-service. We have to do a certain number of hours every month. And then there are various schools, classes, and seminars that come up. And I've been extremely fortunate here in Burlington to be able to travel literally around the country attending these different, events.
Nonstop. Joe will, even working a shift, if it's a quiet night, he will have that dog out, whether it's at the high school or one of the ball fields, doing tracking lessons in the middle of the night, things of that nature. It's a continuous, nonstop training, and it's in all kinds of weather.
All that training over the years was definitely put to the test. Havoc was a busy member of the department and responded to incidents both big and small.
I think probably the big thing was after the marathon bombing. He was down there patrolling the streets of Boston with Joe for an extended period, and then he was right in the thick of things in Watertown, searching house to house.
There's been so many. He's been an extremely successful dog. We've literally had hundreds of deployments in Burlington and surrounding communities, whether it be mutual aid or as part of the NEMLIC K-9 unit. The response to Boston after the marathon bombings, the search in Watertown, the dog worked like nonstop. And just that's one of those things that just really impressed me was his work ethic, never tiring, never wanting to stop.
And to have the town be able to send that dog to other communities and help out other communities, finding kids, finding missing seniors, to drug busts, to all the things that dog does, which never gets recognized. So right there alone is a huge asset for the town of Burlington.
And when he wasn't helping in a rescue, chasing down a bad guy, or engaged in training, Havoc would spend time meeting with members of the community.
I'll always think of him back on safety night when we hold that in August. He is so good with people and with kids. So you don't always see that in a K-9.
But he has a tremendous social side to him, And yeah, I can have him around children and people with absolutely no worries, at different community events and demos and stuff like that. And I think that really helps ease things, that I'm able to have him at those events. And then, with a simple word or two, simple command, you'll see a totally different dog if he's needed to apprehend a suspect or something along those lines.
Finally, what does a veteran police K-9 do in retirement after 10 years on the job?
Probably upside down on the couch, along with my other two dogs that are at home.
Well deserved, Havoc, and thank you for your service. From Burlington Town Hall, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Next week is Super Tuesday, when many states hold their presidential primaries to determine who will be their party's nominee. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford spoke with Town Clerk Amy Warfield about voting in Burlington and has this report.
Tuesday, March 3rd is Super Tuesday, and on that day, Massachusetts residents will join residents from 13 other states to weigh in on the party nominees. Some voters in Burlington already cast ballots in early voting that has been held this week at Burlington Town Hall.
Well, it's gone really well. We're up about 10% of our voters have actually come out and taken advantage of the early voting again this year. We usually get about 9,000 people that show up overall. This year, with the early voting, that'll be about 2,000 people that came to early voting. So I'm anticipating probably 5,000 to 1,000 people will show up on the day of the election.
For those who have yet to cast ballots, they can do so on Tuesday.
On Super Tuesday in Burlington, the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Burlington High School. You drive around to the gym. There will be parking right outside the gym for the voters.
Due to school being in session, it may be wise to plan ahead and think about when you want to hit the polls.
The high school starts about 8:15 to 8:30, so if you want to come early, before 8 o'clock, you'll be able to get in and out. Or after 3:30, after school is dismissed, you'll be able to get in and out pretty easily.
So which ballots will voters receive when they get to the polls?
Basically, if you are unenrolled or independent, as people like to call it, in Massachusetts, you're then able to pick whichever one of the four parties. And we actually do have four parties in Massachusetts: the Democrats, the Republicans, Libertarian, and Green Party Rainbow. So you'll be asked when you come in, which ballot do you want? There will also be sample ballots there at the polls so that you can take a peek at them if you aren't sure which exact one you want. And then you can choose the ballot before you go to vote.
Finally, there is more than just the presidential party nominees to decide on.
Basically, it's a very kind of a short ballot. This is the presidential primary. So the offices that are on it are for president, also for the state committee man, the state committee woman, and for town committee. And town committee might be something that people have forgotten about. Those are the people that will be the delegates to the state convention when the state holds it before the national convention. And so you're voting for those people that are representing the town.
From Burlington Town Hall, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
Burlington has gained its Green Communities designation and grant program acceptance after a lot of work by a number of people in town to lower the municipality's energy use. Excuse me. The program is run by the State Department of Energy Resources and offers incentives in the form of grant money for communities to seek more energy-efficient buildings, vehicles, and utilities. Burlington's acceptance into the program, announced by Town Administrator Sagarino at Monday night's Board of Selectmen meeting, means it will now receive $173,000 in an initial grant and will be eligible to apply for competitive grants in the future. Under the program, the town must reduce its municipal energy use by 20% over the next 5 years. To get the designation, the town has implemented a fuel-efficient vehicle policy that establishes a requirement that the town of Burlington purchase only fuel-efficient vehicles for municipal and local public schools use whenever such vehicles are commercially available and practicable. Sagarino said the policy will apply mostly to department vehicles used for inspections and other non-emergency operations. Fire engines and police cruisers are exempt. The town also implemented an anti-idling policy for all municipal and school vehicles. In May of 2019, town meeting voted to approve the adoption of the state's Stretch Energy Building Code that sets higher energy efficiency standards for all new homes and buildings built in town. DPW operations analyst Rachel Kaplan said 2 upcoming projects aimed at meeting this goal involved work at the Burlington Public Library. She said both of the building's rooftop units will be replaced, and the library's HVA system, which is on the older side, will also be replaced. DPW Director John Sanchez said the department has a roadmap for meeting the 20% reduction goal over the next 5 years. A gourmet burger chain featuring mini burgers with toppings customers can mix and match has opened in Burlington. Burgerim, originally an Israel-based restaurant chain now operating out of California, opened its first Massachusetts restaurant in the Middlesex Marketplace at 90 Middlesex Turnpike. The concept of Burgerim is 3-ounce patties with a variety of toppings, sauces, and buns that can be mixed and matched. Customers can choose to order 1, 2, 3, or a 16-pack of gourmet burgers and customize each one. Those not interested in burgers can order wings, salads, chicken strips, and more. Every combo comes with a choice of fries, sweet potato fries, or onion rings, which can be customized as well. They also offer homemade milkshakes and over 100 Coca-Cola products. Who knew that were that many? The community theater group, the Burlington Players, is set to open their newest production, a rendition of Catherine de Savino play, Things My Mother Taught Me, on Friday night. BNEWS reporter Chris Flaherty, our entertainment reporter, went to a rehearsal to learn more about the play and files this look.
Mother knows best. The Burlington Players are setting the stage for their production of Things My Mother Taught Me by Catherine de Savino.
Things My Mother Taught Me is about a young couple. They're moving from New York to Chicago, and this is their very first apartment. Unbeknownst to the young woman, the young man, Gabe, is planning to propose to her this weekend. Also unbeknownst to Olivia, both sets of parents show up on the day that they're moving in, which he planned, and everything goes wrong from there. This is a very well-written piece. There's a lot of moments of respect for your parents. There's a little bit of conflict, but which family doesn't have conflict? There's just so many pieces that fit so well together that I jumped on it when they were looking for directors.
The cast and crew of Things My Mother Taught Me is a mix of new and returning faces in the Burlington Players.
I actually saw it done at TCAN in Natick and really liked it then. And I have, and then I read the script and just really found it very charming. It's funny, but it also has some poignant moments to it, and I like that mix.
So I am playing Gabe. Just last year, I proposed and got married myself. So there was a lot in that I could relate to. Very quickly connected to the character and kind of where he was in life.
I love comedies, and I really love comedies that are kind of set realistically. I think there's a lot of humor in kind of everyday situations, and so I really enjoyed kind of that aspect of it. And Olivia is a little opposite of me, but a little same in kind of her nerves and everything. So it's always fun to kind of play someone that's different in some aspects, but it's close to you in other ones.
My character is Max Morawski. He's the building superintendent, and he's a Polish immigrant, kind of, comic relief in the show.
I love the play because it's about relationships and families and how it's important to be there for your kids in the good times and also in the hard times.
When I auditioned, I didn't know anything about the play. The audition was so much fun. I really wanted to get it, and especially the character of Wyatt was very attractive right from the get-go.
This is a great cast, a great group of 7 actors who've gelled really well together. I have an assistant director on this piece, David. He was able to take a good chunk of this show so that we were able to split up our duties and our responsibilities, and it's worked out fabulously.
I couldn't have asked for a better experience. We have an absolutely fantastic cast. Chris I've known Chris for, I can't tell you how many years, and we've just really worked well together. But the cast is just absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
The Players hope residents can escape to a fun night at the theater with a show that's full of laughs and heartfelt family values.
I think that people should listen to their mothers. That's what you should learn from this show. And also to have a good laugh
It's a really fun show. I'm excited for us to have an audience, get the laughter, get the energy going. It's a really fun show, but has a really good heart to it as well, besides kind of just a comedy.
It's a delightful piece. It helps you just relax and smile. We need more people smiling right now. So this is a great opportunity to let people come and just have a good time.
There's a lot going on this winter. This is a perfect opportunity to come in, unwind, and just focus on the comedy.
Tickets for Things My Mother Taught Me are on sale now, with shows starting February 28th and running until March 14th. You can purchase yours now online or by calling the box office. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your BNEWS Entertainment Buzz.
Everybody knows that mom knows best. Burlington Public Schools is one of 54 educational institutions that have been named as recipients of a special grant from the state. Governor Charles Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito announced $14.6 million in skills capital grant awards to 54 educational institutions to update equipment and expand student enrollment in programs that provide career education. Burlington's award is $225,000. The high school plans to improve the equipment in its Innovation Pathway program in information technology. The school will purchase new computers, robotics, augmented virtual reality equipment in order to expose more students to computer science. The school is currently limited in the number of students who can access the program due to equipment constraints. To date, the Baker-Polito administration has awarded more than $78 million in skills capital grants to 280 different programs. Through skills capital grants, schools have expanded their enrollment capacity in high-demand occupations, enabling more than 14,500 additional students to enroll in educational programs that are a priority for employers across Massachusetts. Burlington Middle School students will soon have the option of purchasing a breakfast at Marshall Simons Middle School to eat before the start of classes for the day. According to a blog post by the Burlington School Department, a breakfast pilot program at the middle school will start on Monday, March 2nd. The breakfasts will cost $2, and students who receive free or reduced lunch will be able to purchase it for 30 cents. Each student will be able to pick 3 of the available items as laid out in the chart above. Breakfast will be served in the cafe from 7:15 to 7:35 a.m. Students who purchase breakfast will eat in the cafe before going to homeroom. Students who arrive in the cafe before 7:30 a.m. will be expected to eat quickly and get to their homeroom on time. However, students who arrive at or after 7:30 will sign in, go to the main office to know who to mark as present, and then those students will receive a pass when leaving the cafe. We are hopeful that this program will assist our students with starting their day with a healthy meal, says the school department. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for a look at the forecast for the week ahead. We'll also check out the community calendar with Jolie Atwood to see what's happening in and around Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with Illustrator Weather for the next 7 days. And I know it's hard to believe that we are actually looking ahead now towards the last week of February. And coincidentally, that also is the last week of meteorological winter. So we are on our way to spring, and it certainly has been feeling like spring the past couple of days. Our last forecast looks like we were going to have sun every day, and it looks like we had just a little bit in the way of rain this past couple of days, but no snow again. Now, starting out our period on Friday, it's actually going to be feeling more like winter, something we really haven't seen too much of this year, with temperatures only in the mid-30s and a pretty gusty wind out there, so it's going to feel like the teens and 20s. And if you're stepping out in the Burlington area at night, going out to eat, going shopping at all late, you're definitely going to need that heavy winter coat with temperatures dropping down into the teens. Now, of course, that's going to be a little bit below average for this time of the year when we're supposed to be in the low 40s. And a good ways away from our record high, but these record lows, we are not going to be anywhere near those in the next 7 days, so that's great news. As we round out a period, look at this, March 5th. I know it's hard to believe that we're already looking into March, where our average highs then are supposed to be in the mid-40s, and looks like we're going to be there and bested by probably, again, 10 degrees or so, something that really we've been seeing going back to late December. And of course, as you notice, the days keep getting longer and longer, so spring is certainly on its way. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're expecting in our way of temperatures and precipitation coming up for the next 7 days. And starting out our graphic here from the Centers for Climate Prediction Center, we're actually expecting again here in the Burlington area and much of the eastern part of the country, again, precipitation above normal. Now, again, much like most of the winter has been, there really isn't going to be anything in the way of cold air when that precipitation comes. So again, looks like we're going to be in the form of rain, no snow. So as we go ahead, let's take a look too at what we're expecting for our temperatures coming up for the next 7 days or so. And again, according to the Climate Prediction Center, look at this. Again, here in the Burlington area and down into the middle Atlantic, we are the bullseye for the chances of seeing above average temperatures, and that is definitely going to be reflected in our 7-day. Actually, the only place that really might be a little bit chillier than average is down the desert southwest. So all in all, looks like the country's going to be pretty mild this coming week. So just like it's been for most of the winter. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at some of those weather and some of those temperatures. Again, I think it's a forecast you're really going to like. Starting again on Friday to start out your weekend. Looks like we're going to have fair skies. Again, temperatures on the chilly side, only in the mid-30s, so definitely winter feel out there. As we get into Saturday and Sunday, might be even a little bit cooler than that, but on Sunday, we're going to see that sun really out, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually are looking at temperatures maybe getting closer to 40, and that's been a trend that we've seen really throughout the winter. We've been predicting cooler temperatures, and it's just been warmer than we've been expecting. Now, getting into Monday, starting out your work week, looks like we're going to have fair skies again, temperature about 40. I'd say tack on 4 or 5 more degrees to that. But unfortunately, as we get towards Tuesday and towards the end of our period, looks like we're going to see that system coming in with the chance of maybe some heavy rain on Tuesday, but temperatures in the 50s. And on Wednesday, look at this. The sun might come out a little bit, break between those showers, and temperatures up in the mid-50s. And look at this, rounding out our period again, some spotty showers out there, but temperatures again in the low and mid-50s. So everyone, our spring-like feel to winter continues, so get out there, have a great week, and enjoy the weather.
Hi, I'm Jolie Atwood, and this is your community calendar. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. On Tuesday, March 3rd at 6:30 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a Dr. Seuss party. There will also be cupcake decorating. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, call the library at 781-270-1690. Come and ride for a special cause. On Saturday, March 7th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Lifetime Athletic will be having a fundraiser event called Ride for a Reason. The event will help raise heart rates, awareness, and money to support the kids of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and the Lifetime Foundation. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. To register and for more information, go to stjude.org/ride-for-a-reason. Get ready for a fun-filled day of games and delicious food. On Monday, March 9th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Burlington Community Scholarship Foundation will be having an event called Fun at Dave & Buster's. Ticket sales are opened until March 6th. For more tickets and information, go to shopbcsf.org. I'm Jolie Atwood, and that was your community calendar.
The winter sports season and the teams are well into playoff action, and some Red Devil teams are still battling it out into the postseason. For all the latest, we go now to BNEWS sports reporter Liz Gillespie for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. A number of BHS winter sports teams battled hard in the playoffs this past week, and we have the scoop for you, so let's get to it. On Saturday, February 22nd, Red Devil Wrestling went to Milton High School to attend the Division II State Championship. In the first round, Burlington went 3-3. Pins were made by Zach and Cam Soda and a technical fall for Joe Perna. The Red Devils improved in the second round as they went 4-2. The Sodas and Perna reached the semifinals. In the end, the team finished in 5th place. Cam Soda was the D2 State Championship and won 10-0 over John Hopkinton. His brother Zach finished 2nd place with a 3-5 loss. This is the highest finish since 2010. Congrats to Cam and the rest of the team. Girls and boys indoor track went to the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association Pentathlon at Shrewsbury High School on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. 3 athletes participated in the events for girls and 20 athletes for the boys. Congrats to the girls and boys on attending the pentathlon and a good season overall. The Burlington boys hockey team participated in the Super 8 tournament on Sunday, February 23rd at the Stoneham Arena, where the team won in a close battle of 3-2. On Wednesday, February 26th, Burlington headed to Loring Arena in Framingham to take on the Boston College High School Eagles in the second round of the Super 8 tournament. The game did not go the Red Devils' way, as they were shut out to the Eagles 3-0. Burlington will head to the consolation bracket of the playoffs, where they will either play Pope Francis or Catholic Memorial High School on Sunday, March 1st. The game will be played at either Gallo Arena in Buzzard Bay or the Stoneham Arena. Girls ice hockey team had a playoff game on Tuesday, February 25th against Cohasset Hanover Skippers for the preliminary round of the MIAA playoff tournament. The girls won in an overtime thriller of 5-4, and they will be playing on Saturday, February 29th at the Canton Ice House against the Norwell Clippers. Girls basketball played the Drake Middies on Tuesday, February 25th at the BHS Gym for the first round of the MIAA playoff tournament. BNews sports reporter Robert Paris has more with some highlights.
The Lady Devils basketball team faced the Drake Middies in the first round of the MIAA playoffs. Let's get to the highlights. The first period was very low scoring, as the ladies put up 15 points, while Drake had 12. Both teams allowed fouls, Burlington 5 and Drake 3. In the second, things picked up the pace. The girls scored 14 points and the Middies had 11. More fouls during the period, 5 for Burlington and 6 for the Middies. At the half, the score was 29-23 Burlington. Third period, Burlington and Drake put up 12 points each. However, there were fouls by the teams. Lady Devils 5 and Middies 4. Fourth period was a thriller. Burlington put up 17 points, but Drake caught Burlington slowing down near the end of the game and tied it back up to 58. 8 fouls for Burlington on net and 9 for Drake. Regulation couldn't decide this one, so the teams headed to a 4-minute overtime period. No one could score at the net until
Pass to Pena. Trying to look for something there.
And Drake won it with just a minute left. 60-58 was the final. We chatted with Coach McKay after the game.
Your season ends, right? And the only silver lining there is it ended with our 3 seniors on the floor, giving everything they have, and they played really well tonight. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we knew it was going to be an aggressive game. This is the first game that we've had all year with 3 officials. It clearly affected us. We got in foul trouble early. We had to play different positions, different scenarios. We weathered that in the first half, but in the second half, ultimately, that kind of screwed us. You're trying to play without your MVP, right? And actually, I thought they did a phenomenal job of that. Really, what it boiled down to is at the end, instead of playing like we were winning, we gave the ball up when we shouldn't have, and we took too quick of shots, and we didn't utilize the clock. So it was just poise at the end of the game that we didn't have, and just the excitement of a young team coming at us hard with no quitting them.
It was a great season for the girls, but in the end, their playoff ticket to the next round came up short. We look forward to seeing the girls on the court next year.
The Burlington boys basketball team had a playoff game against the Woburn Tanners on Monday, and Robert Paris has another round of highlights.
The Red Devil basketball team faced off against the Woburn Tanners on Monday, February 24th at the BHS Gym during the first round of the MIAA playoffs. Let's get to the highlights. In the first period, Burlington put up 20 unanswered points, while the Tanners put up 17. However, Woburn allowed 3 fouls on net and Burlington 4. Now in the second period, the Red Devils put up 19 points, while the Tanners had 11. Both teams allowed 2 fouls on net. Going into the half, the score was 39-28 Burlington. Second half, the Red Devils continued to put points up on the board as they added an additional 12. Woburn only got 8. The Red Devils allowed 4 fouls on net and 1 for the Tanners. 51-36 was the score at the end of the third period. Fourth and final period, Burlington added an additional 10 points while Woburn put up 14. Burlington allowed 3 fouls on net and 9 for the Tanners. The final score was 61-50 Burlington. We had a chance to talk with Coach Connors after the game.
You know, we played in spurts. We had a great second quarter. That was it's funny, our worst quarter all year has been our second quarter. Our second quarter today was unbelievable. Other than that, I didn't think we played great. We didn't shoot it great. We the layoff hurts you, so you don't shoot it as well. We were a little caught up in the emotion of having this many people in the gym. Wasn't our best effort, but all you want to do in the tournament is win and get to the next one, you know?
The team has advanced to the quarterfinals and will be playing the Winchester Sachems on Friday, February 28th at 7 p.m.
And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows democracy in action. It was sent in by Burlington resident Kathy Hofferty and features her at the polls voting early in the presidential primary. Early voting has been held all week at Burlington Town Hall. Thank you for the photo, Kathy. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, Peter Brown, Jolie Atwood, and Liz Gillespie. Thank you for joining us.